you can't hide. Talking all that trash, it's got your tongue tied. We king in the window, we'll start till we're finished. You better be ready to throw down. Calling us nameless, I'm losing the papers, and we find our way cause we know how. You get it twisted, we doing our business, they're chanting our names and it's so loud. Better believe it, we can't be defeated, no way. We are the heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Can't stop us when we go in. Kings and queens are folding. There's something in our touch. Feel the rush, yeah, we're golden. Sending out a message, leave them in the wreckage. Unbreakable, powerful forces not to mess with. We keep it a win, we'll fight till we're finished. You better be ready to throw down. Calling us famous, I'm losing the papers, and we find our way cause we know how. You get it twisted, we doing our business, they're chanting our names and it's so loud. Better believe it, we can't be defeated, no way. We are the heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. We are the heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens. Heroes, we're talking legends. Won't back down until our hands are to the heavens.
You are being presented with a choice, evolve or remain. If you choose to remain unchanged, you will be presented with the same challenges, the same routine, the same storms, the same situations until you learn from them, until you love yourself enough to say no more, until you choose change. If you choose to evolve, you will connect with the strength within you. You will explore what lies outside the comfort zone. You will awaken to love. You will become. You will be. You have everything you need. Choose to evolve. Choose love. What is spiritual awakening? A spiritual awakening is when a person becomes aware of his real nature and own unique being. When this happens in your life, you will have a new sense of seeing things and the world around you. You will begin to trust life and use your inner voice when making decisions. You will be able to accept your emotions and really feel them, not repressing them through addictions and negative patterns. You will release the old pattern where you react in your life based on your traumas and old experiences. You will know that the same thing will not happen again because you attract what you want in life. You are able to release the old ways of thinking. When you experience a spiritual awakening, many questions will come into your mind and you will ask yourself a lot of questions because your ego will try to find all the excuses to keep you in fear and old patterns. Welcome back. I'm Alisha Quinn, and today we are going to be talking about spirituality. And I am sharing my truth, my experiences, and what I know. I'm a divine being having a human experience. And these last few years, I have definitely been going on a spiritual awakening journey, which is a lot different than the religious journey that I took. So, kind of been in this world and, they kind of give you, the whole worldly government type ordeal. And then they also give you religion, all kinds of different religion. And so, I came to a point after 9/11 where I kind of did that soul searching and was like, I needed to change. So I got involved in religion. And I changed. And, I tried to follow those rules as well as I could and things. And, there just was always something amiss, though, I'd just be like, I really came to a point, it's like, why are things like this? And the church says it's like this. And so, I thought that going to church, believing in Christ, um, taking the Lord's Supper ordeal was helping me, saving me. And when I started waking up to the religious system, which I will say is a part of the world system, just the opposite side of the same coin, it's all control. And, so I go down that process of waking up to it, and, the people in the church showed me their true colors, helped me get out of there pretty much. And so, they serve their purpose, for the ones who aren't going to get out of it or whatever, they do serve a purpose there. And I did that too. So anyhow, really waking up to this, vibration and frequency kind of thing, like an ascension. And it is just like, a lot of questions like, what is this? And I will do future shows on ascension and things, but for me, I will say that, the spiritual awakening was really coming to see, that the things of this world was separating me from the Spirit of God that was within me. And that of who I was, who the world made me into being, and who religion made me into being, which was not the person that I wanted to be. And so we're going to go ahead and take a few look at a few videos, and we will talk about them. So I will play a video and we will come back and I will say a few things and then we'll play another video, and that's how we're going to do this. So we're going to share this video here.
You don't need a middleman to get to God. You know why? You're already connected to God because everything in the entire known universe on every dimension is connected. You have to understand that you were sent here to become your own savior. And the faster you get that into your mind, the faster you understand that you are not the victim, you are the savior and you are the solutions provider, the faster you get out of any predicament that you're in. The faster you begin to grow consciously and spiritually, the faster you become a better person. It's just a fact. It's an absolute fact. And if you're not too scared to go burn in the lake of fire, which was added to the Bible by the Roman Catholic Church, doesn't even exist, and try the method I'm telling you, you'll see growth in your life instantaneously. You'll see change in the blink of an eye. You'll see it. You'll feel it. You'll recognize it immediately because it's something totally different than what you've been doing all these years. All these years you've been doing it. Now it's time to make a change. It's time to make a complete change.
Yeah, so I played that video on my religion versus spirituality, and that's what I found to be the truth, is that you don't need a middleman. And the middleman that's being used is being used to cover up their BS, and that's not what he even came here for. And, I have grown spiritually so much these last few years than I did in the 20 years about 20 years that I was involved in the church. And it has nothing to do with going to church every Sunday. And so, and change is, that's the thing, you got to change. You are the one who has to master yourself, the flesh, the desires that you have. But, I found all these dick problems going on within religion and the church. They have no control over their minds, their bodies, and their souls. And that includes their dicks. And so, but it really doesn't matter because they have just separated themselves from God instead of knowing God, knowing that we all are connected together. Everyone. We're all connected. Everything's connected. So, and they are definitely based on fear and guilt and shame. And they keep them that way. They keep them in guilt every Sunday, taking the Lord's Supper, dwelling upon the fact that Christ was put on a cross for their sins, which he was put to death because he was against the system. And that's the only reason he was put to death. And he rose because he had the technology within him, because death is an illusion. So, it's all an illusion. And they got the world and religion trapped in all kinds of illusions, and there is no hell. It's just vibration, low vibration and higher vibration. So we're going to go ahead and take another look at another video.
Most people think spirituality is all about love and light, but they forget one simple truth. You cannot find the light without walking through the darkness. True awakening is not just seeing beyond the illusions of the world. It's facing the shadows within yourself. When you open your mind and break free from the illusion of our three-dimensional world, you realize that much of what you believed was a lie. This can feel like destruction, as if your entire sense of self is being torn down. And in a way, it is. Because to awaken, you must let go of the old, confront your past, and rebuild yourself from the ground up. This is not easy. Many people feel lost or even overwhelmed by the weight of spiritual knowledge. The deeper you go, the more detached you may feel from this physical world. But here's the paradox. The world isn't meant to be rejected. It's meant to be embraced. The path of awakening is like alchemy. You take the lead of your old self, your fears, your pain, and you transform it into gold. This journey will challenge you, but it will also show you who you truly are. To walk this path is not for the faint of heart, but it is the only way to truly live.
And that is what I did truly find, is that a real spiritual awakening is not for the faint-hearted. Religion is the easy way to go. It's a great an illusion, to keep people trapped in their bondage. Really, their bondage of their past, their bondage of, the things that they have done. And, to give them an illusion that, they're saved just because they did some, physical acts to, become a Christian or whatever. So, spiritual awakening is a lot of darkness, and the darkness of this world. And then, and all the lies and the deceit, and then, the shadow of yourself, and, some of the things that you've done, there's, as I've gone along, I mean, there's some things that I have done, because of jealousy and things like that, that I really had to face. And, just, I had to just really, forgive myself for who I was, for not knowing, any better, really, and so, it can be, weigh on you a little bit. It's not, for the faint by any means, and some of the things, of how I've treated people and those type of things, and truly facing that, and and some of my reactions towards people as well, and so it's not, is facing yourself, is one of those things of, and people leave out of here all the time without facing themselves. And some people, they're just a miserable mess because they won't deal with themselves. And, this world has them in such a trap, but it is for everyone to, wake up to it. And, again, some people are just not spiritually there, it takes many lifetimes to grow spiritually. And so, but what has happened in this world is that there's been a reincarnation loop because people are stuck in the bondage of really not learning and growing. And so they're stuck in, victimized mentality and, their past, being that sinner kind of thing, instead of saying, hey, you know what? I learn something from this. How do I learn and grow from this? And so, and it's just all these things out here are just a bunch of lies. It's just an illusion. So we're going to go ahead and take another look at another video.
Spirituality is not for everybody. It's not for the weak. It takes a lot of darkness for you to find the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's a hard journey. It's a lot of shadow work. It's a lot of internal work. It's a lot of erasing who you were told to be, how you were told to be, and discovering who you really are. And then understanding that this body is just a vehicle and there's much more to who I am. Yeah. And I'm eternal. And there's, like, I always say this, I wish humanity would just all have an awakening phase where they all wake up, because we are all alchemists. We're all sub-creators, you know? Yeah. But nobody knows that power of theirs until they're awakened to it. And I just wish everyone can access that power. It's not like,
yes, to awaken and know that you are a sub-creator of your own reality, and that, it isn't for everyone. It definitely isn't. It's not for everyone to, everyone has that alchemist within them, which is just the vibration, just the levels, there's hate and love. There's shame and forgiveness. It's just all on, the spectrum, pretty much, high vibration or low vibration. And you gotta, you're the one who has to transmute that energy into the love and light and gratitude, and it's really something, facing the things that were done to me, and finding that peace with it, and what did I learn, and the gratitude of it, and letting it go, even, and that's part of it, is letting it go. People remain trapped their whole lives because of what they grew up under and all these things. They can't come to truly forgive and truly let it go. And some people just won't open their mind to the fact that they even chose their life and their journey, even, and to go through what they've gone through. And some of it ends up being past life karmas. And so, and I even had to face that. And so we have multiple lives, and there is karmic debt. You reap what you sow. And so and people just, spend their whole lives trapped, even in like abandonment issues and these things. They just, it is for them to heal from it and overcome it. And, the thing is they go into another life, but, sooner or later, maybe their soul will get tired of it and wake up. But, we're at a really good time here in this world because there's a lot of people who came here for this and to help assist humanity. And so, there's never really been a better time on this planet to have a spiritual awakening and to raise up that vibration and go into those higher frequencies. So we're going to go ahead and take another look at another video.
Your mind will believe whatever you repeat, so give it something worth believing. Because every time you say, I am, you're not describing yourself. You're creating yourself. So say it one more time, and for the man you're becoming. I am relentless. I am consistent. I am not who I was. I am who I decide to be every day. And today I choose to rise. There is a war happening inside you. Not outside, not in your job, not in your circumstances. Inside, in the deepest part of your mind, a battle between who you were and who you're becoming. And every time you hesitate, every time you say maybe, every time you retreat back into the old version of yourself, you're feeding the wrong side. You've been running on a program, not one you chose, one installed by others, built from fear, repetition, and survival, a program written by your environment, your parents' doubts, your teachers' limitations, your own failures, and that operating system, it's outdated, it's slow, it's reactive, and it's been sabotaging your future behind the scenes for years. That story you keep telling yourself about why you can't, why it's not the right time, why maybe you'll try later. That story is not yours. It's the virus in your code. And you don't fix a virus by negotiating with it. You delete it.
Yes, and that's what I found is that, our words are powerful. Our words have meaning, and we got to feed the right side of us. Or, people stay stuck in the same loops, and it has nothing to do with their job or the people around them. It's them, and, I had to figure that out too, It's the truth, that, sometimes you need to learn to set boundaries with people. And when you start setting boundaries, people don't like it. And, not being victimized by your life. And so your brain is like a quantum computer, and you have the power to rewire it. But, you end up with subconscious programmings that have been in there your whole life that you have to override. And so it's, something that truly you have to be committed to and dedicated to. And you have to focus on it. You have to let go of, distractions that are preventing you from, taking that power back, really, so it, is something that takes the work and the effort on for sure, and, emotions are what really create your reality, emotions in motion. And, that's part of your soul. And a lot of people don't have control over their soul. They're reacting and stuff. And I had to gain that control as well, This world has a way of keeping our nervous system out of whack, unstable. You're reactive, you're, in chaos, looking for the next thing that, what's the next BS that they're going to throw at us? It's a distraction. That's all it is just BS. The most important thing is to work on you. But people are attached to a lot of different things. So I can understand it for sure, but they will their life and their reality is pretty much up to them. And that's what I've come down to, saying like life is easy and life is fun and life is I love life, and there's times I wasn't like that, letting go of the worry and the stress of things, and it takes that work, that inner work, that shadow, that subconscious programming, it shows up, and then you're like, okay, I need to deal with this. So it, definitely isn't something that happens overnight, and you got to just keep at it, So we're going to go ahead and look at another video.
So here's another thing no one tells you about your spiritual awakening. People are not talking about the fact that you are going to battle between your higher self and your lower self, between your flesh and your spirit, between your divine nature and your natural nature. There is a battle that happens between those, because when you awaken spiritually, and the more you learn about your spiritual self, about your divine self, your higher self, you want to become that and stay that and be that all the time. But the problem with that is that it's not possible, because as long as we're still in these meat suits, we're going to be human. We are also human, which means we will do human things. The irony in that is that people around you will see your divinity. They'll see your spiritual gifts. They'll see who you are. And then they will start to worship those parts of you and expect you to be in a place of perfection. And even you yourself will start to put yourself in a place of perfection. But then you and all the other people around you eventually are going to see the humanity come out of you. They're going to see you do human things. And they're going to say, but I thought you were blah, blah, blah. I thought you said you were spiritual. Yeah, I am spiritual, but I'm also human. You are spiritual, and yet you are also human. So one of the biggest lessons that I've picked up throughout this journey was accepting the totality of me. Because I remember when I first started this, I expected myself to be better all the time, to be higher all the time, to do things right all the time. But I don't do that, because I'm a human being. And I've accepted the fact that I am both of these things. I have great spiritual gifts, I have a divine nature, and I'm also a human being, and I do dumb stuff sometimes. I try to limit the dumb things that I do, but nonetheless, I'm still a human being. That's why I'm here. So it's important as a spiritual being to make sure you don't get pigeonholed into being spiritual 24/7 all day, every day. Because we're not just here to be spiritual beings, we're here to experience humanity as well. All parts of humanity. To experience everything. Sadness, joy, chaos, peace, love, hate, frustration, loss, death. You experience everything. So please don't try to put yourself in this place of being perfect and trying to live up to everyone's expectations. Just be who you naturally are, because when you're trying to do that, you're getting caught up in a spiritual ego trap, because there is no such thing as perfection. So please make sure that you give yourself grace, understanding, compassion, and love. And don't let other people convince you that you are not on this journey because your humanity shows. It's supposed to show. That's how it works.
That is one that has really helped me, because, I'm still, working on that myself. I've come a long way in a short time. And, sometimes I have to look at that, look at where I was even 5 years ago, which was just in a terrible place, was not a good place. And so, looking at that, growth that I have made and how much I've learned and the things that I know and things like that, and so those things make such a big difference. And it is definitely that battle of being that higher self, but we are human as well. And so, I've identified things that I came here to overcome and work on. And, the best thing to do is take accountability when you need to take accountability. That's the best thing to do, is have that self-reflection. A lot of times we will, blame other people, but, really looking at myself and just being like, okay, that's not the person that I want to be. And, apologizing for, if I reacted a certain way or whatever it might be. And so, that's the best thing to do, and giving grace, even, one guy, he talked about, the spiritual journey and being like a fruitarian, and that, having like a piece of cake and doing it in love and joy. And, that's one of the learning things that I've gone through is, especially my relationship with food and stuff, and just like learning from the experience instead of putting myself in a guilt and shame situation, and just, connecting with myself of like, how does this make me feel? So when I notice that certain foods just don't make me feel very good, now that's something that's like, okay, I have to work on my own reprogramming. And, so it's like, that that's not going to make you feel good. You're not going to feel good if you eat that. So, just dealing with some of those, but it is definitely that ongoing thing of, being that divine being, but having a human experience. So we're not perfect. And, I know that people are, more ahead of me as well, and that's the thing, is that people are at different stages and different levels, just depending on, their the age of their soul. Some people are very new souls that come in here to learn and stuff. And so, and then some have had many lifetimes. And so those are just, that everybody's just at these different levels and different categories and different territories, really, And so, having grace on not only yourself, but others. So that's how I take it. So we're going to go ahead and show another video.
You carry within you the core qualities of the divine. We can call them the pillars of power: omnipresence, omnipotence, omniscience, and omniamorousness. These words mean that, at the soul level, you are always connected to everything, omnipresent. You are powerful creators, omnipotent. You have access to infinite wisdom, omniscient. And you are an embodiment of unconditional, all-inclusive love, omniamorous. While living as a human, you experience these divine qualities in a limited way. They are still fundamentally who you are. Whenever you give your power away, you deny one or more of these aspects of your true self. For instance, if you believe you're helpless and that life is just happening to you, you overlook your omnipotence, your creative power and free will. If you always look to others to tell you what is true or what you should do, you ignore your own inner knowing, thus forgetting your omniscience. If you feel alone and unsupported, you are momentarily forgetting that you are one with all that is, omnipresence, and that countless beings of light are with you. And whenever you succumb to hatred or despair, whether toward yourself or others, you shut down the flow of unconditional love that is your essence, omniamorousness. In those moments, you are out of alignment with divine truth, and you feel weaker and more lost as a result. The good news is that you can reclaim your power the moment you realize you've been giving it away. Start by reminding yourself of the truth. I am connected. I am powerful. I have wisdom within me. I am love. These simple affirmations, said with conviction, realign you with your source self. We encourage you to become very aware of where and when you tend to hand over your power, whether it's to other people's opinions, to fear of what might happen, or to feelings of unworthiness, and to gently take it back. This doesn't mean fighting anyone. It means choosing to believe in yourself and your divinity. As you consistently reclaim these pillars of power, you will notice changes. You feel more centered and confident. In short, you begin to live as the sovereign being that you truly are. Remember, giving your power away serves no one. It only delays the realization of the brilliant, powerful soul you came here to be. It is time to stop dimming and start owning the divine power within you.
So, we all are connected. Everyone is connected. And it doesn't matter what race they are, or religion, or political group. And those are just all things to divide people up, because they truly are just a divine being having a human experience. They're just playing a role. And that's it. And so, having that inner knowing, and, I looked for answers for years outside of myself and didn't trust myself or my intuition. And it's amazing the things that you come to know by being connected with the infinite mind and just getting those answers from your soul, even why you've gone through things and those type of things. So, and having that belief in yourself. I believed in Jesus Christ for years, that he was going to save me, but I didn't even know what my soul was. And how is he going to save me from my own thoughts and the things I say and my own emotions? Nobody's going to save me from that. And so I had to take my power back, and become self-aware, come to realize even, the thoughts and the things that were running through my mind. And I had to take that power back and, shut down, stuff that, I was thinking about that I didn't need to think about. And, even negative thoughts, and not only about myself, but others, because subconsciously, your subconscious mind knows nobody but yourself. And so, when you come to realize that, it's like, because they're part of God too, so you got to find the good in them. That's what I've done, is just, I look towards the positive of other people, because I know that my subconscious mind knows no one else but me. And it's just like this war within myself. And so, find those good things about people. And sometimes you got to search for them a little bit, but just finding the knowledge and the wisdom within yourself. And, I have listened to other people and just seeing what do I learn from it, and not taking their answers to be mine, and just, figuring out like what, what do I learn from that? So, because we all are connected, but it's not, my learning lessons are not someone else's learning lessons. And we all are just part of this big puzzle and just have our own piece of it. And we can surely learn and grow from one another, but finding answers within ourselves for where we're at spiritually. So we're going to take a look at one more video.
They are trapping your soul in the earth. You do not experience the external world. What you feel is electrical impulses on your nervous system. What you visually see is light entering the eyes and the image produced at the back of the brain. You're experiencing a simulation produced by your brain and central nervous system, which means that the body is the earth. You are God. Generator, operator, destroyer, the mind, soul, and body. The mind's the projector, the soul's the observer, and the body is the dimension. This body is allowing your soul to operate in this physical dimension. It's a vehicle. They programmed your mind to believe that you are only a physical being to trap your mind and soul in this physical world, in this physical body. But you are way more than just this physical body. The only way to escape is through astral projection. The Matrix is not physical, it's a limiting belief system that lowers our state of consciousness, programmed our minds to be attached to the physical world through money, clothes, and fame. To keep our minds locked in the external reality, you must go within to expand your consciousness to astral project, to activate your light body just like the ancients were depicting. You can literally become a god and travel these other dimensions other than this physical world. That's why these Sumerian gods depicted themselves with two faces.
That one is very interesting, which is, I don't know a lot about that stuff, but and that's the thing, is that there is so much to truly learn about when you go down, especially the spiritual journey. And definitely, detaching. And that's a big thing that I've gone through these last few years, is really detaching from people, places, and things. And, I have even been reminded here on this new journey and path that I've been on, like, don't get attached. Don't get attached to this. So, and that's the way I look at it, is that everything is just temporary. This is just where I'm at right now. And that is just serving its purpose for me at this time. And, even with like people, like, we have a lot of attachments on people and trauma bonding, and these types of things. Whereas just, when you just have the connection that, that they're just a soul on their own soul journey, and that all I need to do is learn and grow from them and teach and help them. And so that really makes things a lot different than, looking towards them to fulfill whatever it is that is missing within you. And because that's for you to deal with and fulfill, that nobody's gonna make you happy. And that's a learning lesson that I've really gone through this last year, is like finding that happiness within myself, that there's not going to be anyone to make me happy. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at a few pictures that I have. I shared this one on my religion versus spirituality, and I'm just going to read the spirituality ones, which is: spirituality encourages oneness with God. Spirituality is God is within you. Spirituality unites people regardless of their beliefs. Spirituality teaches people to create heaven on earth. Spirituality is based on love and freedom. Spirituality feels like being the entire ocean in a single drop, and spirituality is based on your personal experience. So different stages of spirituality, of spiritual awakening. The depressed and confused phase, you really don't know what's going on in your life. You're frustrated and lost, disassociated to your family and friends. This can be triggered by traumas, a breakup, or a sudden life change. The crazy phase, you'll see the real world and you'll think that you're crazy, but you're not. The aware phase, you're having new thoughts and having awareness of different aspects of yourself, inner self, ego, etc. The inwards phase, reading a lot, documenting, try to understand this new awareness of by isolating yourself. The reborn phase, experience a new version of yourself, starting to connect to yourself and the universe in a deeper level. You'll practice meditation, yoga, and learn about chakras. Your third eye can probably open and you'll start feeling people's energy. The healing phase, you'll start healing your childhood traumas and any insecurities. The enlightenment phase, you'll start feeling good with yourself. You'll accept life with all the changement. You'll start enjoy really happiness, euphoria, and bless. 13 spiritual truths you will learn in your life. Magic really happens. The universe is listening. What we give, we get. There are no coincidences. We create what we feel. Optimism attracts positivity. Your gut is your spiritual guide. Love heals hatred and misery. Energy never lies. Prayer works. Meditation works. Full moons are magical. New moons are magical. Your mission is to save your soul from recycling back into the third dimension. People who have high spiritual intelligence don't just read words, they read moods, they read energy, they read vibes and body language. Their senses are supreme. They might not say much, but they notice everything. Spiritual truths you will learn over time. Magic really happens. The universe is listening. The sun is medicine. The moon strengthens your psychic abilities. Prayer works. Meditation works. Raising your vibration will automatically heal your soul. He who has the power of turning all negative vibes in his path into positive energy has learned the meaning of life. The unseen laws, spiritual laws you must respect. Core unseen laws, law of reciprocity. What you send out, energy, thoughts, action returns amplified. Law of authority, spirits only respect those who know who they are. If you're confused, they dominate. Law of resonance, you attract what matches your vibration. Purity equals clear outcomes. Law of timing, some doors open only in divine time. Forcing it equals punishment or delay. Law of spiritual debt, every lie, scam, or shortcut leaves a karmic invoice. Until it's paid by pain or repentance, it blocks flow. Law of access, sharing sacred things with unworthy people gives dark forces access to you. Guard your spiritual intimacy. Law of sacred exchange, don't ask for something from spirit world without giving something. Prayers, food, fire, service, truth. Law of hidden eyes, even when no one is watching, you are seen. All thoughts and deeds echo in the spirit realms. And that's something that the church won't teach you, is the laws of spirituality. That's right. So we're going to go ahead and ask a few questions here. So are you being spiritual or religious? And are you ready to take your power back? And are you taking ownership over your body, mind, and soul? And what have you given up for that kingdom of heaven within you? Have you truly had a renewing of your mind? Are you spreading light in the world? Are you loving your life and the life around you? Are you for yourself and humanity? And are you learning to transmute energy? Transmuting energy is when you could take your situation and find the love and joy and gratitude in whatever it is. And that is transmuting that energy. And, when people do stuff to you, it's one of those things, but we have to find the learning lessons because really it is for our soul growth. And the thing is that the people who have done certain things to us, we could have been like that in a previous life. And if people considered that, and that, they are good or bad, they are part of the divine too. And so we have to learn our lessons. And so, my conclusion is that religion is the easy road, but a lie. And, spirituality, there's a lot of levels and a lot of things to learn and grow and just, going deeper and deeper within yourself, having that inner knowledge. And there's a lot more to go, And so I'm for it. I'm looking towards learning about different things that I haven't, learned about. And I've been connecting more with nature and stuff, and even having that connection with the consciousness of things, with trees and with that whole connection of consciousness that's there. And so it's definitely a different road and a different journey for sure. It's not about, sitting in a pew every Sunday. And so, I've been taking a drive more than anything lately, and driving and just looking at this beautiful world. And I go to a lake and look at the lake and the water. Water is amazing because it moves. It just is, there's just this movement with the water, and it's just amazing. And it will help balance out some things. So I also put my feet in the water and stuff to help with that. And, doing grounding work where you put your feet on the ground and stuff often, to balance your energy that's within you and stuff. So it's a very, very different journey, having more love and respect for animals. And so it's just a very different experience to have for sure, and a different journey. And it has nothing to do with religion and going to church. And that is my, final conclusion, that, and that religion, separated me from God. So, people can be believers all they want, but there's a difference of believing and knowing, a big difference. So, spirituality, I'm for spirituality 100%, being a spiritual divine being, having a human experience. And so I am sharing my truth of my journey, the things I've learned and everything. And I am grateful for being alive at this time. I'm grateful for where I'm at spiritually, mentally, and physically. And, I'm grateful for anyone who listens to learn and grow from me and to just, be able to, speak my truth, truly. And I am offering help if you are interested in getting some help and guidance with trauma healing, taking back that power and stuff. That I'm opening that door up for that you can reach out to me. I will leave my email in the bio. Future shows for my ongoing 2024 story. I will have one on October 15th for that one, which is about the sign. I got a big sign that day, which is kind of interesting. And I'm going to do one next week on reality. It's very interesting when you come to truly questioning reality. And so I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and donate. My links are in the bio, along with my email. And enjoy your day. Enjoy your life. It's yours. It's yours to enjoy. It's yours to be, to have that joy and happiness with it instead of, being in fear of, your journey, because it's your experience. And it's your reality. It's yours to enjoy your life. So enjoy it.
Isn't it strange how you'll never meet the version of you that lives in someone else's story? To some, you're heartless. To others, you're kindness itself. Some will remember your laughter. Others will never forget your mistakes. But none of them really know you. Not fully. They only know the version of you that crossed their path. You are not one person. You are 1,000 reflections in 1,000 different minds, shaped by moments you may not even remember. You can be a villain in a story you never read, and a hero in another, because we are all mosaics, broken and beautiful, shaped by the eyes that see us. And you don't get to choose which pieces they keep. But here's the truth. You do get to choose the version of yourself you wake up to every day. Because in the end, the only story that matters is the one you write for yourself. Isn't it true?
Just what we want to. Nobody's fool, nobody. want to. We